think the Rari go faster without the roof. Jim.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, hey, I got that.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll, and we are underway from Atlanta.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it's it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. On second down, here's Brees. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Brees on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. That man, Michael Thomas, what a start to the season. 10 more catches in Week 3 against the Falcons for 129 yards.
I love your descriptor of him. That man, Michael Thomas. I mean, the numbers he's putting up now, right? 38 catches through 3 games. That's an NFL record. We're talking about all time. We might be talking about his pace throughout the season because the number he's chasing is 143. That's Marvin Harrison's single-season record for catches. Michael Thomas is on some type of a pace.
38 receptions. He's been targeted only 40 times. Throwing on first down is Brees. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a second down.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Now, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Now Brees. He'll buy some time right. And that's complete. It's Watson. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a first and goal just inside the 5. Breeze now. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Breeze going to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On second down, Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, 27 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken short, and not a very good return at all as he won't even get this back to the 15. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out.
Let's break it down, fellas. Break it down. 36. Got it.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
11. Check. Hey, easy. 11. Got it. 13.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, 64 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This will be taken very short, and not a very good return at all as he won't even get this back to the 15. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to put in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
13. Got it. 11.
Breeze to throw on second down. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And all the way to the opposite 48. It's a big play there for the Saints. 44 yards. Breeze now on first down. Forced out to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Got it. 11, 11, 11. 12, 12. 12, 12, 12.
On first down, Breeze. That's caught by Meredith right side. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
12, 12. Got it. 12, 12.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
11. 11, 11, 11, 11. Got it. 12, 12, 12. 12, 12, 12.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He'll air it out deep for touchdown. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Got it.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing now is Breeze. And he's going to go down again. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. To throw is Breeze. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Here we go. 11.
Here's Breeze. Flush to his right. It fights him off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now Breeze. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And Lutz puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
21. Gun. Hey.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, before last week, Dan Quinn said that he wanted to get Calvin Ridley more involved in the offense, and he did that. 7 catches, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns against the... And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And here now come the Falcons. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a second and long. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Third and long, it's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Here's Breeze to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. Breeze now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first and 10. To throw, it's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Breeze now. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on first and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Brooks Reed with a tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play. Holding him in no gain.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Vic Beasley in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. And Lutz's kick is good. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this third quarter. So it's his third field goal now with the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Hey, 11. Tuesday. 11.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
11. Hey, gun. Space. Hey, south, white.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Gun. 11. Hey, 20. Hey, right at. Left. 54, south. Let him go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 36. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints, they'll have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long...
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Breeze now to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Got it.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Breeze going to go on 4th down. And they're going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's got Sanu. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu, 59 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
From the gun, Ryan. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken short. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Now Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep. And got his man complete. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 70 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Breeze looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas from 10 yards out. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Gun. 21. 11. Gun. 25.
Operating from the gun. Ryan, the throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Hey, South. 20.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Coleman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. We'll give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
Gun. Space.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Short gain the last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Here's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Smart play to get rid of it there, but now it's 4th down. Your margin for error pretty much out the window.
That means you have to come up with a big-time throw here and a completion in order to keep this 2-minute drive going.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
20. Hey, express. 21. Hey, gun. 12. Let him go.
The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Get set. Monday.
To throw is Breeze. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw, Breeze. Room to run inside the 40. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And down right around the 37. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The Saints on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Breeze to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to get in for his 2nd sack of the night.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for New Orleans. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now the pitch to Freeman. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's all the way up to the 39-yard line that time. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime. And
it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
Freeman again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Ryan now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Demario Davis there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 down. Check. 22.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley.